Good to have everyone back. First of all, we're looking at the minutes from April 14th. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
Thank you. You need a roll call, Sherry, on that or no?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's passed.
Thank you. And then we'll go on with the meeting and action item. Ordinance 2025-10, Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map Amendment for the recent annexed single-family resident property. Gwen?
May I move that, just with the housekeeping item, interject here quickly? The Planning and Zoning Board will commence here shortly 2 hearings relating to the subject annexation. Formal rules of evidence will not apply during these hearings, but basic fairness and due process shall govern today's proceedings. If anyone intends to testify, including any staff members, please rise and be sworn in by a member of the clerk's office.
Thank you.
You ladies going to say anything?
I think we know what it's about.
Okay, all right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth during today's hearing?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Gwen.
Thank you. Well, good morning, Chair DeLange, Vice Chair Desai, and Planning Board members. I'm Gwen Herstein, the City Planner. This agenda item pertains to Ordinance 2025-10, which is a future land use map amendment for a property which was annexed into Daytona Beach Shores on July 1st. This action, if an affirmative recommendation is made, is the first step to adding a future land use for this property to the city's future land use map, compatible with Volusia County future land use and that of the neighborhood. All items have been submitted into the record for this property and for this item. Again, this property is located at 2920 South Peninsula Drive. Property owners are Andrew and Bonnie Melville. The property size is 0.283 acres, and it has a South Peninsula Drive frontage of almost 91 and a half feet. The current future land use is Volusia County urban low intensity, and the proposed future land use is Daytona Beach Shores residential low intensity, and you'll see both of those have a maximum units per acre of 4. And the future land use is single family residential. Background, as I stated, this property has been annexed into Daytona Beach Shores through a first and second reading before the City Commission. And these actions today, both the future land use map amendment and the rezoning, will allow us to enforce our ordinances and rules against this property, or to support this property, depending on how you look at it. And it'll also allow them to pull permits and do other things within the city. This is the site location. It's about 1,600 feet from here, about a 2-minute drive, and it is just west of the Oceans, 4 Oceans West Boulevard condo, Oceans Cloverleaf North. This is an aerial view of the property. You can see that it's already fully constructed. Here's a street view of the property as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as nice as that today because it has a big old yellow sign in the front yard. The current city future land use of the property, it does not have one, so you see that it's white. It's not, does not have a current city future land use. But if this ordinance passes on second reading, it will have a residential low intensity future land use. All aspects of the land use change impact summary analysis were examined, and the status was acceptable and it met the criteria in every case. It is consistent with our comprehensive plan. The public notice requirements have been met, and the proof of such has been submitted to our city clerk. The impact analysis we just looked at, and we can dig into further if you have questions. The requisite staff review has been completed, So staff is recommending approval as presented, and you can certainly go back to any slides you'd like to. If you have any questions.
Sounds pretty cut and dry.
I feel that way too, but I don't ever want to make that assumption.
Well, don't assume anything, yeah. We know when that happens.
Any questions?
Is the owner here?
The owner is not present today. The owner has, both the owner and, well, both owners have been present at least one city commission meeting.
We don't have any opposition from neighbors or anything?
I had one question by phone, and then I've had two neighbors from the closest condominium, 4 Oceans West Boulevard, here today, and there was some question as to whether the property could now be used commercially as opposed to as a single-family residence, and the answer is no. One of them has indicated that she would like to stay after and discuss the Airbnb situation, which is different from the county rules to Daytona Beach Shores rules. So I'm happy to explain those to her. But as far as opening a business that is not a home occupational type business, this action is certainly not going to allow them to do that.
So the rental idea is out the door.
The rental idea is on the table as it is for basically any property, any residential property in Daytona Beach Shores. We have never, or not in the last 20-plus years, enacted a minimum rental period, whereas most of the towns and cities around us have, and that means that people can Airbnb their homes, even in a RSF2 neighborhood like this. The state in 2011 basically said, cities, what you have is what you have. You can use those still, but you cannot make them more strict. And then in 2017, 2018, they doubled down on that and said, no, really, we mean it. And further, you cannot do these other things. So until the state changes their position on that, the city's not in a position to make a change. And frankly, even though it does come up from time to time as, are we doing the right thing by not? I don't know that there's going to be, if the state does change, any big push to make those changes. The one thing that we could do that we haven't is enact a rental registration and/or inspection program. We're watching some other cities who have done that, and they've had some challenges. It would also require probably at least one staff member addition in order to do that. And frankly, we have not seen, with my history in code enforcement, we have not seen the kinds of issues with the Airbnb, with people utilizing that and renting their homes. We haven't seen the kinds of issues that a lot of neighbors are concerned about. In fact, people are trying to keep their properties, by and large, trying to keep their properties well-maintained for, to earn the 5s, the high ratings, so that people will come and stay there.
One of the problems with real estate in the last couple of years has been investors coming in, buying the properties, then renting them out. And that's one thing probably that neighbors don't want to see happen. Preserve your neighborhood. I just wanted to know and thank you for letting us know the position of the city.
It doesn't mean that we can't ever do it, but we can't do it at this point, apart from further regulating with a registration and/or inspection program.
Thank you, Gwen.
Appreciate that, Gwen. But there's no basis whatsoever that this is going to be an Airbnb. This seems like a family is going to move there, right? I don't know why was that brought up?
It is brought up regularly just because it's of interest to every neighbor. It's of interest to the mayor and the city commission. It is brought up. These folks, the Melvilles, while I have not directly heard confirmation from them that they will only be living in it, I know that they do live in it at least some of the time. I do believe they have another property, at least one other property elsewhere, with family elsewhere. So I don't know that they occupy it 100% of the time, but I do know that they occupy it sometimes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Is there a motion?
I move to recommend to the city commission approval of ordinance 2025-10 as presented.
Second that.
Thank you. Sherry, roll call?
Roll call, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All righty. Now we come to the quasi judicial hearing. Counsel, if you do your,
I believe since the same individuals are going to testify, we are covered by the previous remarks, but thank you, Chair.
you're welcome. Are we ready? So if we move on for the quasi judicial hearing, go ahead, Gwen.
Thank you, Chairman DeLonge, Vice Chair Desai, and planning board members. I'm Gwen Herstein, City Planner. We're discussing ordinance number 2025-11, which, if approved, will assign a zoning designation to 2920 South Peninsula Drive, consistent with the property's zoning when in Volusia County's jurisdiction, and compatible with similarly situated properties in the surrounding area. All items have been submitted into the record. Again, we're speaking of the property owned by Mr. and Mrs. Andrew and Bonnie Melville, with a property frontage along South Peninsula Drive of 91.42 square feet, or feet, linear feet. The current zoning district is Volusia County R9, Urban Single Family Residential District, and the proposed zoning district is Daytona Beach Shores RSF-2, which is Urban Single Family Residential Detached District, and they are similar. Again, we take this step in order to be able to enact our codes for this property and our future land use, our comp plan and our codes for this property. Area review again, didn't move from the last ordinance. Currently, there is no city zoning for 2920 South Peninsula Drive. If this ordinance is approved at second reading, the proposed city zoning will be RSF-2 as stated. These two slides summarize the 14 criteria which have been analyzed and found to be met for such a rezoning. Additional requirements are public notice, which has been addressed and met, an impact analysis, which has been done, and the rezoning criteria, which I just showed you on the two previous slides. The comprehensive plan consistency basically is dependent upon the future land use map amendment being approved, and we expect that that will be. Staff recommends approval as presented. And we have questions further about the rezoning.
Answered most of them. Any other further questions? All right, thank you, Gwen.
Mr. Chair, for the record, since this is quasi judicial, can we ask whether anyone had any ex parte communication regarding this property?
That's what I was looking for, but that's okay. Has anyone?
No.
No? Thank you. Has anyone?
No.
No? Thank you.